working. All right, so welcome everyone for the No Wallet. It's our third demo. It's 10th of December, and let's begin. So what is on our agenda today? We'll traditionally see how we can join the Wallet Nova community. And as for the demo itself, we're going to review our Kusama Treasury proposal, which we posted last week, and we will see what we included in it. So we will synchronize on the next plans and priorities for the No Wallet. Then we're going to take a look on the updates of the app itself, which we mostly focused on the design updates. And also traditionally we will add new networks to the app, and this time it will be QUARTZ network and Bit.Country Pioneer network. And of course, we will finalize our demo by reviewing the plans and the roadmap for No Wallet. So let's begin. So how we can join the No Wallet community is pretty straightforward. You can see our No Wallet website. You can join our Telegram channels. It's an international group, Russian group, and announcement channel. Also follow us on Twitter, join the group in Element, review our articles on Medium, and we kind of want to ask a community to subscribe on our YouTube channel because we need at least 100 subscribers to have a nice URL for the No Wallet instead of this bunch of symbols. But yeah, so that's how you can follow our community. All right, so as for demo, let's review Kusama Treasury proposal, which we posted. We have submitted proposal on 1st of December for the discussion so that we can refine and review together with the community and council members the content. And basically, I would like to go through the proposal on this demo just to synchronize and to explain what value it brings to the community. So let's open the proposal itself. By the way, everything is in public, so you can see how voting went, how the discussions went, and basically the proposal itself. So the proposal focused on the 4 things. First one being the DIA browser, second one being state mine and state min tokens integration. Third one is the NFT support, and the fourth one is a staking and overall user interface rework and improvements. So let's dive into the details of each of these points to explain the value for the community. So first one, and I think it's the most valuable for the community right now, is a DIA browser. So DIA browser basically helps to connect mobile users with the whole spectrum of the applications which exist on the ecosystem. And it's very important to have this functionality as soon as possible right now, because you can see that the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem is growing every day. Like new apps are being deployed by the parachain teams. Parachain themselves are deployed like every week. So it's very important to allow access for the users who are usually using the mobile device to interact with the blockchain, to provide access to this functionality which basically teams are deploying right now. Because otherwise it's a race for the mobile developers, since usually parachain teams develop something on the web, like exchanges, NFT marketplaces, or even to get your crowd loan rewards, you need to visit certain web page, use your Polkadot.js extension, and then claim these tokens. So DIA browser will allow users to basically connect to this application. So there will be no limitations in this way. So in other words, we are opening limitless opportunities for the No Wallet users by having DIA browser. While we not only will have the DIA browser itself, we will also maintain the list of the DApps which exist in the ecosystem. So whenever user will open the DApp page, they will not only be able to use the DIA browser, so to enter URL of certain application, but also they will have a preset of certain categories like NFT marketplace, crowd loan rewards claim, and so on, to basically select from, right? And we will maintain this list in the open source, so every team can basically add their DApp to the No Wallet or this collection by themselves. So that's a very important feature. We are planning to focus on it as a first part of our proposal work, and we expect it to be finished in time frame of like 4 weeks, starting from next week. We will start to develop it. So are there any questions regarding the Dia browser? So while some may write the question, I will cover also the part about the cryptography, because the Polkadot ecosystem includes not only the, let's say, substrate cryptography or the applications which requires you to have the Polkadot.js extension, right? But also we have some Ethereum-based applications, but which exist in our ecosystem, right? For those applications, we will discuss with Ethereum-based teams like A-Star, Moonbeam teams to basically extend the Dia browser support. But in terms of this proposal, we will cover the Polkadot.js extension part. So we will focus on the substrate-based cryptography. All right. So let's continue. The second point in the proposal is a state mine and state mean assets integration. So we can see in the Polkadot.js that state mine getting more and more love basically in the community. We can see even the tokens which were launched originally on the state mine, basically exploding the whole blockchain world, like Remark token. And we can explore all the state mine assets right now using the Polkadot.js. And we can see that anyone basically can create their own asset, right? And we can see the Remark token here. But basically there are lots of them. And we would like to allow access to these tokens for the mobile users, right? What we will do, we will basically integrate all of these tokens from the technical perspective, and we will maintain the, let's say, list of tokens which we would like to see in the application, because lots of them were created in a test way or in a, let's say, spam way. But once again, we will maintain this collection of the tokens which you can use in the app in an open source way. So any team or any community member can come in and basically whitelist this token which they want. So yeah, that's also very important because the state mine and state mean, yes, sorry. The state mine and state mean are getting more and more love, as I said, right? However, we can see that basically use cases are growing as well. Recently, Akala team made a proposal to the Kusama and on a Karura site to enable the communication between state mine and Karura network, which will allow all of these tokens to be, let's say, enabled on the Karura side, which means that all of these tokens will potentially now have some utility usage, right? Not only you are able to send and receive these tokens right now, but also you can see that all these assets from the state mine are getting more and more use cases or utilization, right? So this is very important to implement the common good token storage of the ecosystem in a mobile application right now, so that we will be prepared to the variety of use cases which are coming. And of course, the Remark token will be supported because lots of community members are asking us about this. All right, so let's back to the proposal. The third point of the proposal is NFT support. Now, NFT is really wild world, and it's evolving rapidly in the Polkadot ecosystem as well. So what we're going to cover for the NFTs in this particular proposal is basically an opportunity for the user to view and manage in a way to send and receive the NFTs which currently exist either on StateMine or implemented using the Remark version 1 protocol. Now, note that currently Remark team is working together with the ecosystem teams to implement the advanced version of the substrate palette to handle the NFTs. They call it Remark V2, right? So we will continue to work with them to implement this particular NFT substrate palette, which hopefully all other parachains will also implement, like I don't know, Shiden, Karura, and other networks which has NFT support. So this will be the first step for No Wallet to integrate the NFTs, but that will cover most of the use cases which you can see right now for the NFTs in the ecosystem. And also worth to mention that such applications like Singular NFT Marketplace will be also accessible using the Dia browser. So now you would be able to connect your accounts from No Wallet in a mobile format to browse the Singular Marketplace for the NFTs or any other NFT marketplace in the ecosystem. Right, and the last point here is user interface rework and improvements. Basically, we have collected tons of the feedback from the community, and still, I can see that call on the call right now, right? So we receive the feedback from all the community members daily, and we are collecting it so that we can basically brainstorm and understand when and how we can apply. Just to give you examples, lots of users would like to see their balance not changing when they contribute to the crowd loans, because contributing in crowd loans theoretically is not decreasing your balance because those tokens are kind of, let's say, locked, right? But technically they're transferred to another account. So that's why currently you can see that your balance is decreasing, right? But in reality, those tokens are still belong to you and they will be unlocked after a certain period of time, which requires for us to slightly tune our way of displaying like the total balance for the account, because it's not only the balance, it's also like the history of your contributions added to your balance. I know that many applications like Talisman, for example, they already doing this, and this is great user experience, and we would like to inherit this as well. But not only that, but also we would like to maintain these improvements for the staking features, because yeah, we have collected lots of feedback regarding the staking as well. For example, the recommended validators algorithm. This is not the user interface part, so we might not include it in this particular scope of work, but yeah, we will maintain as much user interface improvements as we can in this time frame, which we allocated to this proposal. And yes, I forgot to mention that all this outcome will basically make us to open source both like mobile applications and Substrate SDKs, which we have right now. So outcome of the proposal would be the open source versions of the No Wallet mobile applications and No Wallet Substrate SDKs. And the license will be Apache 2nd, which means that anyone can basically reuse or rebrand or yeah, do whatever they want with the code which we'll implement. Yep, so that's about the proposal scope. We estimate this work to be done in a time frame of 3 weeks. However, make sure to understand that the holidays are coming, the New Year's, so you can add an addition like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to this time frame. So we expect like to start on the next week in December and to finish around the March. So yeah, that would be the proposal scope. We are still going to conduct the public demos every 2 weeks. So the next demo would be on the 24th of December. And I'm pretty sure that we'll have already something to show on the next demo from the proposal itself. Right, so let's go back to the demo. By the way, are there any questions regarding the proposal? Yes, and just a side note that we have published the proposal on the 1st of December, and yesterday, actually, on the 9th of December, we received an approval from Kusama Treasury. So we are taking all of these features in work and start implementation starting the next week, which is great news. All right, so let's move forward. Hold on. Yep. Right, so let's see the demo of our first stage of design updates. So what particularly we have done, and I see that I missed one point, but which took us probably the most of the time for the past 2 weeks. But anyways, what's new? So we have implemented or not implemented, designed the new icons to fit the Nova brand. And you can see kind of them on these pictures on the right side. But don't worry, I will present the demo slightly after, and we would have a chance to review them in the details. But yeah, let's go on to the list again. So we have designed the new icons to fit the Nova brand. We have new style for the bottom tab bar, which is this nice bottom thing with the 5 buttons here. We added a new tab, which is the apps, and this tab actually will be released in our next update without the app browser, but with our very first the app, which is sub ID, which requires nothing from basically a mobile application. We can just pass the address to this the app, and the sub ID will already provide the useful information for the user, such as NFTs, balances, crowdfunding contributions, and so on. So just a fast way to review your account on the sub ID. We also redesigned staking tab main page, and you can see this on the right side. And we will talk on the advantages of this redesign slightly after. And as another point here is that we have improved the English and Russian localizations. More languages are soon to come. We're planning to involve the community to the translation process. By ourselves, we can handle the English and Russian from the dev side, and we would like to also involve the community members to this process. And the last point, which is missing here, but which is consuming lots of our time, is that we basically rewrapped all the screens related to the creating your wallet, creating your account, importing your wallet, importing your account. So all of the screens look much nicer now, and we will see it on the demo. Right. Let me show the demo right after we will add the networks, so that once I will switch to my iOS device, we can basically see both things, like demo of new user interface and also see the new networks appearing right in the application. But just to quickly remind you, what is the process of adding new network? Basically, the Nova wallet is advanced enough to understand and to basically show the new network automatically if it receives some configuration from the GitHub, which is in open source, right? So any community member or any parachain development team can come up to our GitHub open source repository, make a pull request, and basically their network would be available right in the Nova wallet. So no updates needed on the user side for the application. Right, and let's see what we have today. And today we have a QUARTZ and a Bit.Country Pioneer networks. Both of them are Kusama parachains, right? And we can see that we have, let me show it. We have an open source repo named NovaUtils. We have here a directory which called chains. And inside of it, we have the Vidva chains. And this is actually the networks which Nova wallet supports. So anyone can basically review it and create the pull request to this. So for now, usually it's our team who is creating this pull request, but we are planning to involve more community to this process later on. So we can see that our team member Stepan made a pull request to add the networks. And I already see that my teammates already reviewed. I see that Valentin reviewed it. And we can just merge it and see how the Nova wallet will react to this. Just a quickly reminder, GitHub usually updates the information in a time frame of 5 minutes. So when I will switch to my iOS device, we will not immediately see these networks. It takes some time for GitHub to update the cache. So let me change the sharing. All right, so now you should see my iOS device screen. Is this correct? Oh, let me open chat. I see yes in the chat, but in Russian. Okay, so let's start with the design updates. So now you can see this bottom tab bar, and pretty cool feature. I actually have a last version which we have for the early access, so that we can compare the tab bars below. So previously it was not much for in terms of the style for the Nova, the icons, and also it was kind of dark one, and now it has some blur effects, so it's kind of nice one and glass one. And also if you will pay attention to the icons, they also have a nice behavior to be filled once you tap them and be filled with a kind of blue color, which is also nice, right? So, and also notice that the Nova logo on the top right is also updated, because we noticed that our old version was not scaling well when we have the minimized version of it, right? So we decided to make it a bit, nicer and bigger, and now it looks much better. Right, so this is our first version of Diap tab without any Diap browser or Diaps really, but we have the sub ID one. And let's see what happens once I press the Diap. It opens the browser, and we can see that we basically visit a web application, which is sub ID. And we can see all information. This is basically a feature of sub ID. All information about your accounts on different networks, like balance on Polkadot, on Kusama, and other networks, as well as all your contributions to the crowd loans from this account. And you can switch, you can switch between active, winner, and so on. And also what's kind of unique for the Nova users right now is to see the state mine asset balances and the NFTs themselves, right? Which is great, because now the Nova wallet users can have access to the NFTs in a pretty much convenient way. And of course, if you have on-chain identity, it will be also displayed here. So yeah, expect more DApps to come to the Nova wallet, as well as DApp browser. And yeah, I'm personally very excited, because it will cover lots of use cases currently requested by the community, like the crowd loan rewards token claiming, or even DEXs, NFT marketplaces. Yeah, lots of them. You would be able to connect to the Polkadot.js from the Nova wallet, which unlocks lots of features for the mobile users. There is slightly note which should be added here, is that not all DApps are mobile friendly. And I believe that we created a table in our proposal and just grabbed some DApps from the ecosystem, I believe like 10 or so. And yeah, like less than half of them are not mobile friendly. So we will also talk with the parachain teams. Maybe they can improve the DApps because yeah, it would be really nice if they will do this. Right, what we have next, staking page. So what we have new on staking? First, we updated this about section, and now it has new parameter, which is staking period. And it's very important, because our first step was to rename unbonding period to unstaking period, just to provide the vision for the users that this is the time frame during which they need to wait before their tokens will be unstaked. However, that was still not enough. So, and the backstory of it, because lots of users coming from the centralized exchanges in which they have limited time frames to stake. For example, 30 or 60 days, right? And after they come from this certain centralized exchange experience, to, for example, to Nova wallet, they see that unstaking period is 7 days, and this is mapping their experience basically, and they think that they can stake in Nova wallet just for 7 days, which is not true, right? So we decided to explicitly say that staking period is unlimited. You can stake as long as you want, as long as you wish, right? But unstaking period, so once you decide to stop staking, it will take 7 days on Kusama for you to wait. So yeah, we have updated about staking section. Also, we decided to split your rewards and your stake to the 2 different widgets. And there are 2 sides of it. First one is the technical one, is that we are fetching your rewards not directly from the blockchain. Sorry, not your rewards, but the sum of your rewards. We are fetching that using the subquery right? Which you can name as a middleware or the indexer of the blockchain, right? So if subquery services for some reason will go down, it should not affect your experience, right? So having not having access to your rewards should not stop you of managing your stake, for example, right? So that's why we decided to split it in terms of the technical things. And in terms of the visual interpretation, it also gives you a lot of more clarity, because before, I can show you how it was before. Yeah, this information was kind of in one place, and it was not really providing lots of accent to itself. And now it's much more vivid, and it's much more visible for you to see like how many rewards you have and what is your total stake. So that was also our observation and basically a feedback from the community. And we also updated the main page of the staking. So once the user has not started a stake, they can see all staking conditions on the main page. So about staking is basically expanded by default. And if we will switch to the account with active staking, we minimized it just to save a screen space. But yeah, it can be maximized in any time. And you can see that we slightly improved the earnings widget just to provide more data. We also received an information from the community that we need to have the access to the calculator of earnings so that users can basically enter the amount and see the earnings like monthly and yearly. I think we will have it later on, probably somewhere here, like to have access to the calculator, just to make sure that they can understand the earnings if they will stake more tokens. But basically you can see pretty much the same information if you try to start stake and enter the information here like one dot, and you can see the earnings for the year. All right, so that's about the staking. For the icons, you can see that we have changed them all over the places like send, receive, and other, like on the settings screen. And basically that's regarding the user interface update. For the onboarding features, which is basically like create wallet or import wallet, we can see that yeah, we updated the wallet nickname screen, but the most important update which I would like to focus on is that one. So previously we were showing the mnemonic passphrase immediately, right? However, we would like to emphasize that that is very private information, right? So we would like to inform user one more time that they need to not show it anywhere. They need to not make a screenshots and so on. And only when they will tap I understand, the mnemonic passphrase will appear on the screen, right? And if they will tap the cancel, the screen will go back. So this is very important. Also, we simplified the way how you can import account. So before it was one screen on which you need to select the basically your secret time, mnemonic passphrase, row seed, or restore JSON. Now we have it like as a step before that. And once you go to the mnemonic passphrase, you basically can write your mnemonic here. Also, important addition I forgot to mention, but whenever we display mnemonic here, we now would display in the same way how user will import it, because previously we had it displayed in a different format. And let me show it to you. Yeah, you can see how it was displayed. And believe me or not, but lots of users were importing the mnemonic in the same way. So word 1, then word 7, then word 2nd, then word 8, then word 3, then word 9, which was resulted in the no wallet or any other application to not be able to recover required account, right? So yeah, that also was kind of covered as a change. All right, so I think that's all user interface updates. On top of the user interface updates, we also fixed a bunch of the networking issues. For example, when app was minimized and reopened again, sometimes I think I might be able to basically show it you with the old version, but sometimes you would see this pop-up saying connection failed or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much reproducible, but let's not waste our time on it. But anyways, we fixed a bunch of networking small issues, and now app works even more reliable and faster. Are there any questions or suggestions how we can improve user interface before we will review the new tokens? Which, by the way, appeared now. We can see on the bottom the QUARTZ and Bit.Country Pioneer. Right, so since we have them on the screen, let's basically see are they working or not. You can see that we have the balance information here and the history saying that basically operations will display it here. However, both QUARTZ and Bit.Country Pioneer didn't distribute the token rewards yet, I believe. So what we can test right now is the fees calculation. So once the Bit.Country or the QUARTZ will distribute the rewards, important part of the mobile wallet is basically to support these transfers, right? And we can see that the first indicator for that is possibility for mobile application to fetch the fee from the network. Because if the transfers are not enabled on the network, the mobile application or any application wouldn't be able to calculate these fees. And you can see that for Bit.Country Pioneer, mobile application is pretty much ready. So it was able to calculate the fees, which means that most likely whenever they will distribute the tokens, the transfers would be able to do using the Node wallet. And let's just quickly check for the QUARTZ network. And let's paste the address. Yep, it's calculated much faster, but yeah, the main point that it was calculated, which means that yeah, transfers will most likely work as soon as they will distribute the rewards. While we on the asset screen, we are also working on one of the most demanded feature is basically to hide certain networks, because yeah, it's getting really crowded here, like 17 of the networks and tokens. So we are working on the feature which will allow you to basically remove visibility of certain token, and there will be some presets like hide zero balances and so on. But we need to be very careful, because we need to still display some new networks for the users once they appear, or the networks in which user has received some balance now. So the balance is now not zero, but something else. So we will count all these use cases to make sure that the user experience is a top notch. All right, I think that's it for the demo itself. So we covered the user interface updates. We saw that QUARTZ and Bit.Country Pioneer is now available in Node Wallet, right? So if there are no questions, let's proceed back to the demo slides. Oh yeah, we have some idea. We would like to have something new on our demos, which we would like to call ecosystem updates. Basically, to maintain Node Wallet application, we have to pay attention on lots of things happening in the ecosystem. Like, did some parachain distributed the crowd loan rewards, right? Because we need to test does Node Wallet support this crowd loan reward distribution or not? What about transfers once they're activated in certain network? What about token listing? Because we need to enable the fiat representation for each token, and we need to understand how to do this. What about runtime updates? Because certain network may update the runtime and something can go wrong, right? What about new crowd loans on Polkadot and Kusama? Because you can see that we have a pretty page for the crowd loans with all these icons and descriptions, which we carefully maintain by ourselves. And of course, infrastructure updates. In order to show you the certain history for certain network, we need to pay attention and see whether or not subscan, subquery, or subscript is supporting this network. if it is, we need to make certain effort to enable the history feature just to maximize the user experience. So yeah, we would like to present it in like bi-weekly format. So on the demos, we'll have these pretty pictures of all this summing up on the screen. And I think it would be useful for community to kind of review the performance of the ecosystem and what's going on just in one page format. Yeah, that's just an announce from our side. And let's see the plans on the roadmap. So what's next? One of the main priorities right now for us is to make it to the Google Play and the App Store. We have received the answer from the Google Play removals team, and basically they have accepted our appeal, which means that after 10 business days, which is mapping to the 13th and 14th of December, they're going to recover no wallet Android application on the Google Play, which is good news. And for the App Store, we are going to publish the new version of the iOS application, right, which I just shown to you. But basically, we have published the previous one and it's still under review, but whatever it will be in review or approved by the end of the weekend, we are still going to publish the new version and see how it goes. So our estimation is like 13th, 16th of December to make it to the App Store. In terms of the development priorities, we are going to focus on the Kusama Treasury proposal implementation, and we're going to start next week. And as I mentioned, the first feature will be the DIA browser, because it will allow unlimited possibilities for the users, starting from token claiming and to utilize their accounts in these applications. And the last point here is that we need to expand the team, right, in order to maintain the development of the features which we promised to Kusama Treasury, and also to maintain the development of the features which we have agreements with the parachain teams, for example, with Moonbeam, to implement the Moonbeam staking. So yeah, that's our updates and our status. Are there any questions? All right, so I see that there are no questions in the chat, which means that we can wrap up on here. And basically, thank you so much, everyone. I was happy to see you here and see you next 2 weeks. Bye. Have a good day.